on the 11th of November at 11 o'clock in the morning, the armistice was signed between the Allied powers in Germany in 1918. It was a war that was unlike any previous. There were 65 million men involved in that war, and over 10 million casualties. It was a war to end all wars. Unfortunately, that was not to be the case. As we know, less than 25 years later, an even greater war broke out. And it hasn't stopped. Today, or at least in October of this year, there were 52 wars going on around the world. It never ends. Why are there so many wars? Some people say that religion is the basis for most of the war. The Christian Research and Apologetics Ministry states that actually religious wars are only about 6% of the total number of wars that occur. The rest are secular. Secular wars are those based upon philosophy, power, greed, and pride. But they often have a religious connotation to them as well, because everybody wants to impart religion as being on their side, as being part of their ideology and conflict. In the Second World War, you often heard the phrase, "Praise God and pass the ammunition." It was a famous phrase in the Americans. Hitler had on the belts of many German soldiers the words, "God with us," engraved. Both sides were hoping God was on their side. In fact, before the Second World War broke out, the Catholic Church seemed to be very much in favor of Nazism. The Pope was considered to be a very keen adherent to the Nazi cause, Pope Pius XII. This was proved later to be not as true as it seemed, and he helped a lot of Jewish people get out and escape Nazism. But Hitler used the fact that the Jews were presumably the ones that killed Jesus as a reason, or one of the reasons, for trying to annihilate the Jewish race. Religion has often been a cause or an associate with war. Religious wars are those which are actually fought on behalf of God, not with God. And most of the wars of religion have, over the years, been Islamic in nature. Not all. Christian religion has not been free from the blame in this. Just look at the Catholic-Protestant war in Northern Ireland. Religion has always been a problem with people. And part of the reason is that religion is man's attempt to reach God. And being man-made, it has problems. Because by doing so, man tries to define God in his image, the way he wants him to be. It's unfortunate because religion is really the driving force of humanity. It's also the dividing force of mankind. More wars are fought around religious principles or invoking religious principles than without it. So religion is a problem, but true Christianity is not a religion. True Christianity is a relationship. And relationship is God reaching down to us to make contact. This is why God gave us his Son to reach out to us. This is why it says in Luke to give your enemies, to give to your enemies respect and to pray for them. Because God gave his Son for everybody, not just for those who call themselves Christian. Give to every enemy someone, to everyone that asks, give something. To those in need, give something. The same principle was exposed in Exodus, back in Exodus chapter 23, where it said, help those who were in need. If you saw a person who was in trouble, help them. Do not leave them alone. But the problems with religion was foreseen even back in the days when the Bible was written. John 16 says this, these things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be caused to stumble. They shall put you out of the synagogues. The hour comes that whosoever kills you shall think that he offers service unto God. We have reached a point in our history where there is probably going to be another major conflict sometime in the future. And this time it will be probably religious. Because there are two ideologies which cannot coexist together. Islam and Christianity. If people would understand that God reached down to us so that everyone who accepts his law and his ideals would be saved and would be without fear, there would be no more war. But everyone has not done that. This is why our card actually shows God reaching down to wounded man. The hand of God reaching down to the hand of wounded man. It's God reaching down to earth. If we all understood that, if we all took that to heart, there would be no war in this world. But we cannot do that if ideologies are separate in different ways. We have an ideology or a promise by God that we should reach out to others, pray for our enemies, do good to those which harm you, which is a good ideology. The Islamic ideology, however, has this idea, quote, I have been ordered by Allah to fight the people till they say there is none right. There is no right to be worshipped other than Allah. And whoever said it shall save his life and property. That's Hadith 2:483. Muhammad taught his followers to kill anyone who left the faith. The statement of Allah, apostle, whoever changes his Islamic religion, then kill him. Hadith 9:57. You wonder why there's going to be war in the world? Because people do not understand that a true God-person relationship is what is going to cause peace. And until that comes, if it ever does, it probably won't, because the Bible tells us there's going to be more wars and more rumors of wars until Christ comes. But unless that does come, Remembrance Day will not just be a day of remembering the past, but a day of foreboding the future. Unfortunately, that's something to think about.